In this place, you can find markets where brides are traded, a practice deeply rooted in local tradition and an integral part of its historical heritage. For centuries, ethnic diversity has shaped the world, with each group contributing unique customs and traditions, forming distinct societies in the regions where they settled. This variety of cultures has been a crucial element in building a global collective identity. Within this cultural mosaic, the Roma people, also known as Gypsies, stand out. They originate from northern India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Despite facing challenges, the Roma have managed to preserve their rich culture over the centuries, adopting a nomadic lifestyle and spreading across various parts of the globe. Their journey is remarkable, marked by extensive migration starting around the 5th century, stretching from northern India to western regions, including countries like England, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey. Today, the Romani population, estimated at 8 million people, represents a global community that has significantly impacted world history and culture, standing out for their ability to keep their traditions alive over the centuries. There are various theories attempting to explain how the Romani migrated from India to the West. One theory suggests they were captured and enslaved in the 4th century, while another argues they moved as mercenaries in conflicts, eventually settling in Western regions. What's striking about the Romani is their knack for maintaining their traditions and way of life. Regardless of where they settle, Romani are known for their passion for dance and often tend to live on the fringes of societies, which often leads to acceptance and integration challenges. This marginalization can be partly attributed to their cultural practices, such as early withdrawal of children from school, choosing to live in isolated communities, and conducting marriages within the group. In Bulgaria, the Romani community lives pretty much on their own, stirring up tensions both with Bulgarians and within their own group. This separation deepens the gap between them and the rest of society, keeping a cycle of exclusion and mutual misunderstandings going. You can notice that Romani folks in Bulgaria often steer clear of formal jobs and would rather settle in abandoned areas, which they adapt to fit their needs. Over time, these places turn into neighborhoods mostly populated by Romani, further reinforcing the social segregation with Bulgarians. The gap between Romani and Bulgarians partly stems from the Roma's non-traditional way of life and their seeming indifference to established social norms, which makes Bulgarians uneasy. Though Bulgaria used to have a large Romani population in the past, the country's entry into the European Union and the opening of borders encouraged many to migrate to other parts of Europe, reducing their presence in Bulgaria. These days, a lot of Roma in Bulgaria live in areas resembling shantytowns, often found in the less developed parts of the countryside or on the outskirts of cities. These places, usually overlooked by authorities, sport rundown roads, houses with peeling paint, and poorly maintained green spaces. The housing situation for these Bulgarian Roma is significantly tougher compared to villages where living conditions are better. In Roma communities, instead of apartment blocks, private gardens are more common. Getting a grasp of these communities requires paying special attention to their cultural traditions, like bride markets. This yearly cultural practice isn't just deeply rooted, but also serves as a chance for these underserved communities to strengthen their social ties. In Bulgaria, a country marked by high unemployment and where many live modestly, Roma face even bigger challenges. Yet they manage to seek improvements in their socio-economic conditions through this age-old tradition. In Anatolia, it was customary for the man's family to offer a dowry to the woman's father as part of the marriage. Over the years, this tradition evolved. In today's Turkey, instead of cash, the dowry can be replaced with gifts in gold, and it's expected that the man covers most of the wedding expenses. This shows how the dowry concept has modernized. On the flip side, in Bulgaria, especially among Romani communities, this practice took a commercial turn, marking an evolution based on cultural changes. Here, it's common for Romani families to pull their daughters out of school after elementary education to prepare them for marriage. These girls are often showcased in open-air fairs as potential wives, where despite the controversy this practice stirs, there's no legal intervention. Such events happen on specific dates and draw interest from across the country, where young women are, in a way, bargained for money with men they often don't know beforehand. The Romani bride market practice in the Kizhi clan of Bulgaria is a deeply rooted custom cherished as an essential part of the local Romani cultural heritage. These events buzz with excitement and anticipation, where girls strive to present themselves elegantly, often adorned in expensive attire and accessories carefully chosen in advance. Participants willingly embrace these rituals, with many expressing satisfaction with the tradition. Such contentment can be explained by their limited familiarity with other ways of life, seeing these markets as a significant chance for personal transformation. Despite being viewed by some as a dated and primitive practice, this tradition maintains its position as a striking feature of Romani cultural identity in Bulgaria. Especially in the sale of Romani brides, the value of each young woman is set by her father, varying depending on her age and appearance. For instance, an 18-year-old teenager might be deemed more valuable than a 25-year-old woman. A generous proposal for a young woman brings great pride to the Romani family, often seen as a major accomplishment. In a striking tradition within the Romani community in Bulgaria, marriage is characterized by a peculiar financial negotiation, culturally valued. Women involved in these marital transactions often value the high amount paid for them, seeing it as a sign of their prestige. Meetings to negotiate marriages usually happen on Sundays, bringing whole families together in search of agreements. The negotiated values for brides can vary enormously, ranging from 50,000 to 100,000 Bulgarian levs, and in rare cases, even reaching 275,000 levs. These figures are considered high in the Bulgarian economic context, where average income is low compared to other European countries. Physical attributes like the rarity of blue eyes can also elevate a bride's value in the market. In this society, the monetary value attached to brides not only reflects an ancient custom, but also plays a significant role in uniting families, who often meet for the first time during these negotiations. This process highlights the transactional aspect and the deeply rooted tradition in this act. Furthermore, the practice influences the educational trajectory of young Romani women, many of whom leave school after elementary education, possibly to distance themselves from previous or known relationships, thus reinforcing purity and value in the perspective of the marriage market. In Bulgaria, it's common for Romani children, both boys and girls, to start attending bride markets from the age of 14, a sign of the practice of young marriages within this community. This tradition contributes to a limited integration of the Roma into the broader Bulgarian society, as many Romani families prefer to stick to traditional marriage methods, such as arrangements made at these markets. It's important to note that these customs, specific to the Romani community in Bulgaria, don't represent the entirety of Romani practices worldwide. Marriage negotiation meetings, held by the Kezi Roma, take place in Stara Zagora, a significant Bulgarian city with a large Romani population. These events are scheduled for certain times of the year and attract many visitors from across Europe, boosting the local economy of Stara Zagora. In gypsy weddings in Bulgaria, the customs followed by families are pretty specific. The bride's families look for men with high financial status, while grooms usually seek young and good-looking brides. These marriages tend to be based on aspects like physical beauty and wealth, often seen as a trait of benefits between the parties. The Romani's ability to establish quick connections and integrate with each other is remarkable, even among different groups or tribes. After sealing a deal at the marriage market, the celebration takes place at the bride's house, with both the groom and bride present, where the party gets lively with music and dance. The cultural aspects of the gypsies are crucial for maintaining and taking pride in their traditions. Romani communities, with their unique cultures, are spread across the world, showcasing the richness and resilience of Romani culture in preserving its distinct identity over the years, overcoming various external influences and challenges. In recent years, the Romani community has seen significant transformations, especially with the advent of new technologies. Despite these changes, the tradition of bride markets remains alive. Nowadays, many members of the Kadi ethnic group turn to social media to find their partners, showing an evolution in ways of establishing relationships. However, even with this modernization, the practice of dowry remains a fundamental pillar. Whether the couple meets at a traditional market or in the virtual realm, certain cultural traditions remain strong, especially after marriage. Women, in particular, often take on the role of submission to their husbands, devoting themselves to home and family care. Thanks for sticking around until here. If you found it interesting, don't forget to like and comment below your opinion or experience with Romani traditions.